guys, welcome back to FX Rhapsody. Today we are looking at the Euro USD dollar and also the USD dollar Japanese yen. We're going to be looking at the charts to see what it shows us, and also we're going to be looking at the COT reports, commitment of traders, and see what it's just for more confirmation on our trades. Go visit my website. I've got all the videos categorized nicely. If you're a beginner trader, go to those sections, and also I've got the updated COT reports for you to download in the resources tab, and also go check out my preferred brokers in the brokers tab, and yeah, there's much more on the website. Okay, let's hit the charts. So on the Euro USD dollar on the monthly time frame, what we can see is there is this resistance area at the top here that the euro bounced off, and then we can also see this, there was this support. Basically it bounced off the first time, it supported, so there's a little bit of a support area over here. We can see there was a big movement to the downside, so what we're going to do is we take out our Fibonacci tool, and we also just going to draw from the top to the bottom of there we go. So we can see that after this movement to the downside, we're expecting a retracement of the price, and then we can see that if we have to retrace back, it falls nicely into this support and resistance area of the 38.2%. We can also just take out our trend line tool, and we can draw this nice trend line over here, and we can see that this is a trend line that has been respected a second time, maybe a third time now. So what we're expecting price is maybe just to come up to retest this support and resistance area, and then from there on it might just move to the downside. But again, we're not predicting, guys, we're just reacting to what the chart tells us or gives us. On a weekly time frame, what we can expect, just want to expand this a little bit. So we can see that we had this nice area of resistance at the top. We can see it formed a nice double top. Let me just make this. Ooh, this is a bit skew, but you get it. That's a nice area there, and then over here as well. So it's a nice double top area. Price came up to retest it, price came up a second time to retest it, and price fell to the downside. We can see this area over here that price is currently at, or going to retest. This is a nice support area. So before we put ourselves in, especially now, we need price to break this area over here for a movement. So we need price to break this support area here, and then we can look at maybe on the retest taking a nice big sell to the downside. But again, let's wait until that area, wait until the lower time frames, and then we can see to place that sell area. So what does price tell us on the daily time frame? On the daily time frame, we can just actually want to minimize it a little bit to make it a bit better. There we go. I think that's a bit. So basically what we see is price made this huge movement to the downside, and then price came up again. So let's just have a look here. If I take out my Fibonacci from the high to the low, it's basically from this area over here to this area over here, this low, we can see price came up and it retested this 38%, 38.2% Fibonacci retracement. If we have to draw a line here, we can also see that how that area was nicely, it was a previous support and resistance area, key area in the market, and then also currently we find price being in this area over here. So in order for price, or in order for us to take this sell, we need price to break this area of support that is currently in. So either price is going to shoot up again to go and test that 38.2%, or price might just come to the downside, break it, hitting this area of the minus 27%, come up to retest it, and then go to the downside. Let's just expand this a little bit so you can see better. There we go. So basically that is my scenario, or what I'm expecting price to do. So again, we're not predicting the price, we're just reacting to what it does. So from here, we're just going to go to the lower time frames, the 4 hours, and also just look for confirmation. But currently we are seeing price trying to move to the upside. Let's see what the commitment of traders is saying. We're looking at the euro. So on a euro perspective, we can see that the net positions has gone basically went from 118,000 net positions to 89,000 to 87, meaning it's getting less. So which means is there's a lot of there was some longs put in the market, but there's also been some shorts put in the market. But the change from the longs means to me that there might be a slight push to the upside just to come and retest this area of this 38.2%. But again, let's just have a look at it this week. Let's move on to UJ. Let's go to the monthly time frame. Okay, there we go. Just expand it. There we go. So basically what we can see on UJ, we see this this trend line here on the monthly time frame that was broken. There we go. So we can see that there was a nice trend line that price was respecting. So basically this price broke out. It came back to retest it on that. Let's just put a Fibonacci to that just for interest sake. There we can see this nice movement to the upside. Came back to retest it. It fell nicely. The retest of this trend line and also of the Fibonacci. You can see that this area here, this 38.2% area, was a key area, and it was a nice area to buy, and also for that continuation to the upside, that push basically. But currently what we see here is there's a resistance area at the top. So price is actually just coming to tap that resistance area at the top. So for a continuation to the upside, we need price to break this area, come back to retest it, and that is where we're going to place our buys for that continuation to the upside. So again, let's just keep an eye on that on a weekly time frame. Let's just make it a bit smaller. I always say make it big and then sometimes make it small. It's just to see, you make it a bit smaller, it's just to see especially what's going on to the left. Let's just have a look here. We can see this big, like we see in the previous one, we can see this big area here. There we go. Drawn it a bit too big, but I mean, if you look more to the left, you can see it's a big area of resistance. So what we need price to do is basically break it. So if we take out our Fibonacci, because we see this huge movement to the upside of the price, take our Fibonacci here from the low to the high. So it's over here, this low of this candle to the high of that candle. We can see this, how price nicely came back. It retested this area of the 50%, and it shot up. And now what we currently have is, if we use this Fibonacci, came back. So if you were the one that went in for a buy over here, your first take profit would have been this area of the 0%, and then your second take profit would have been this 27%. So basically you took a buy for the upside. Currently it's on your first take profit, but because this take profit is also in a key area of resistance, what we wanted to do is to break this area and move to the upside, to this 27%. And also this is also an area of, if it moves to that, it's going to come back to retest this area, and then basically move to the upside. So for continuation on UJ, we need this area to be broken. So let's go to the daily time frame to see what it tells us there. Let's expand this a little bit more. There we go. just slightly, just wanted to draw something. Yeah, so what we see here is this trend line at the bottom. I've spoken about this zone that that it was trading in. Let's see if I draw it correctly. There you go. So basically what we see is that this trend line, it was a strong trend line. It was broken, it came up, and it came back into this area. Okay, some of you would say it's a false breakout, but again, let's just look at what it said, what the chart tells us. So on the left here, we can see this area. There we go. It was a nice area of support, resistance. So you can see that price came up, it retested it, came down, came up, did not break it because it fell into that trend line, came down again, and eventually price broke it, and at the same time it broke the trend line, came back to retest it and into the trend line, into the zone basically. So what we can see is, I just want to expand this a little bit so we can see better. So basically we can see that it fall at this retest. If I take my Fibonacci from the low to the high, this retest that it's doing, it retested this resistance and support area. So what I'm expecting for the week ahead is we are expecting price to go up again, to continue to the upside. Let's see what the commitment of traders are telling us, the COT reports. We can, looking at the Japanese yen. So at the Japanese yen, you can also see more confirmation about there's a lot more shorts being put in the market and a change in long. So basically the net position has grown or gotten less from minus 53% to minus 69%, meaning that the Japanese yen is getting weaker, dollar stronger in this instance, and or the Japanese yen is getting weaker against the dollar. So this is more confirmation of the price pushing and continuing up to the upside. So guys, I hope you enjoyed this video, this analysis. Put a like to this video, comment in the comment section, also subscribe to my channel. I've put a link to my website in the description. Guys, I hope you've been having a wonderful weekend, and yeah, just keep an eye out for more analysis and more strategies coming your way. Happy trading, guys.